Rams. Everybody watch out and look up. It's Keep Up with Stillvinsane and Oslamalo. Welcome to the show, and I'm here with my dear friends. Now copying off of Joe Budden, but fuck that. We're here with the rest of the Keep Up crew. Like I said, Oslamalo, we have Harry Jubertilio, the man, the myth, the legend, and everybody that's a part of the show. Thank you very much. John Estrella, moderator. And we also have Neil Francisco, NP Comtech. You can get your computer repaired and fixed at a very cheap price if you go check him out. These are helpers of the show. So let's get into what the fuck happened. All right, so we have Twitter labeling Twitter fingers. Twitter for the last decade has really kept free speech unchecked. And lately, Trump has finally crossed the line. He made gripes and he tried to lead information about mail-in ballots, saying that they are fraudulent, they lead to frauds. There's no empirical evidence that suggests that. So Twitter put a disclaimer on that. He has put things about hydroxychloride. He has what else has he done for Twitter? Twitter has really just tried to put a lock on him. And now he's tried to invoke Section 230 in an executive order, trying to take away their funding as far as private entities. What do you think about that, Oscar?
Well, as we know, this guy's been doing this since he's been in office, and it's about time they finally started taking some action to show the public this is bullshit what he's putting on here, and it's just about time. Twitter should have did this from the very beginning when he was first started to tweet, whether it was about digesting Clorox or doing just something ridiculous, which he always does. So
UV rays.
Yep.
Yeah, there was another one also with him inciting violence, with militarizing the police force. That's funny because he's done it several times afterwards. But when he first did it, they mislabeled it. He also put up a tweet that was a fake account, and the account got deleted. So his tweet was up there, and it just said a deleted tweet. And a lot of people made fun of him because he didn't realize that it was a fake account. This fucking guy is a joke. I hate talking about him. He starts up on our what the fuck is happening because he literally is what's happening every day. More importantly, though, R.I.P. Breonna Taylor, R.I.P. Aubrey, R.I.P. the latest, George Floyd. George Floyd had a knee on his neck from 4 different cops. One cop in particular. What's his name? Harry, could you get us that name of the cop?
Yeah.
Now, I don't know about you, Vince, but I woke up. I remember I put on the video. You read the title, but to see that for that long, a 9-minute video with a cop just having his hands at his side. There's a point where he puts his hand in his pocket, and everything we hear in that video is how much a pain he's in. And you see the fellow officers just standing around there doing nothing, but just watching this man get his life taken away. It was like, we've seen this so many times already. It's just really sad that this is the America that we live in, where we cannot.
I posted a video of my friend that I went to college with. His name is Andrew Smith. He is an alumni at DePaul University, a Posse scholar just like me. And he's been on the picket line many times. He definitely outshines me all the time because I'm just a fake internet gangster.
I got his name.
Andrew's been tackled on campus before for protesting. This time he was in Brooklyn and a cop asked him to step back. He did not. He didn't have to. I mean, cops are there to enforce. They're not there to just play fucking Simon Says. And so they took down his mask and they pepper sprayed him in the face. And I was outraged by this, obviously. Oh, Derek Chauvin, thank you, Harry. Derek Chauvin. He is actually in maximum security right now. He has a 3rd-degree manslaughter charge on him. Obviously, that leaves him liable to get away with this because that's a lesser charge. But we shall see. We're going to try to have faith in the Justice Department. It's hard to have. But back to what we were saying. We were talking about George Floyd, right? Sorry, what were we talking about?
Yeah, So basically, just like you said, he's actually in jail right now, and
Oh
yesterday
yeah.
was actually the first time that the police chief of Minneapolis actually spoke on CNN yesterday, and it was very weird, because I don't like to watch everything that's going on, but for this, I don't know why I tuned into CNN, and they had the police chief, just paying his respects to the family's brothers, and that was the first time that the family had actually spoken to anybody on just a whole situation to the police. Period. So it was
Yeah.
very sad to see those emotions coming out of the police chief, and every time he said his name, out of respect, he would take his hat off and show
That's good.
them. Yeah.
Oh, so what I wanted to say was about my friend Andrew is that I went into TMZ where they first posted the story. They posted without his name, by the way. They didn't get his name. They got his mother's letter though. His mother's letter was in the post. There was three. There was at the time there was over 300. Oh yeah, and Derek Chauvin, he's also getting a divorce. His wife is also separating from. Good for his fucking ass. But anyway, sorry. We have like this new way of getting our information. It's like taking me off. But so I looked in the comments, and the first comment I saw was "Good for you, sickle cell carrying niggers." That was the first comment I saw, and yeah, that's why we're protesting, guys. Stuff like that that's on the internet, all these fucking internet gangsters, all these fucking internet racists and thugs and bigots. I'm really disappointed. I usually have a joke here and there, but I was really disturbed. I was actually shaking when I saw that. I was like, I've never been, even though that person wasn't talking directly to me, I just couldn't believe
You still
the
feel it.
literal hate that's still online and that people are hiding. And I can't believe people's jobs don't see this shit. I know that it's freedom of speech, but again, I hate to beat a dead horse, but there's definitely no freedom of fucking consequence, you fucking dick faces.
Yeah.
So I don't get it.
And another piece of reporting that we got in today was that, the first, they first initially said that he passed away from something else. Not, it wasn't that, obviously they're going to try to hide it, but an independent autopsy was also done today, and they just released it, and it says that this man was killed because somebody put their knee on the back of his neck, and of course he couldn't breathe.
Asphyxiation. Yeah, the county
Yeah,
the county report disputed the cop report, the police
yeah.
report. Fucking assholes.
And yesterday, the police chief also said that they are gonna try to prosecute the other three
Good.
cops that were there, and that's something that has never also been done on live TV, where the police chief actually speaks out from, because a cop is a cop, and obviously going to protect their own. But this was the first time somebody publicly said, "No, we are going
It's
to make
better than
sure."
the mayor. The mayor
Yeah,
said they deserved it. The mayor
yeah.
said that George Floyd deserved it.
Oh,
Stephen
no.
Jackson obviously is a friend of George Floyd. There's
Hmm.
just been so many reactions. Obviously, the looting,
Yeah,
which I don't consider looting. I don't like, especially if you're black. If you're black, your ancestors built this country for free, so it's no such thing as looting. You're
and
stealing from yourself.
and like
So
today.
and I don't believe in Antifa. Like I don't understand that. Like that's if you're anti-fascist, you're just anti-fascist. There's no leader to anti-fascism. You just hate Hitler. You hate fucking people like him. You hate Stalin. You hate like any fascist leader, anybody that tries to be a dictator. I didn't think like that was a terrorist organization. He wants to make it a terrorist organization because he's lost so much fucking total control. Ugh. But we're not going to lose control. We're not going to lose faith. All of a sudden, everybody forgot about coronavirus. I saw that.
Yeah.
Everybody's all protesting. Some people without masks. Like I said, my homeboy's mask was taken off. That pepper spray on him.
Now,
I'm not out there. Sorry. I'm going to be the house Negro, and I'm going to try to make change from the inside.
and when you posted that video, I actually looked at it a couple times, and I'm like, oh crap, you actually know this guy when you
I do. I went to college with him.
And I
Yes,
was
Andrew
like-
Smith.
and I
I would
saw it
tell
on,
people Andrew Smith.
yeah, and I actually saw it on a couple of different, media platforms on Twitter. It started
Oh yeah,
trending.
he went viral. He
And
went
I'm like,
totally
wow,
viral.
I actually have a friend right now, Maria and Lionel, whom I met through Tracy and Kyle, and they're out there right now. They're on IG. I
Is
hope they're
Tracy
safe.
and Kyle subscribe to the show?
Oh, they do. Believe me. They
good,
started
get
listening
that
to
out.
a
All right.
podcast.
So tell us. So before we get on to the next subject, talk about the opening of New York, June 8th.
Yeah. So as many of you have heard, New York City is about to start reopening on on June 8th is going to be the first phase. We're going to get 400,000 workers back from retail to restaurants, and the virus is still not dead, obviously. So just go out there, be very careful. My job was actually really nice, and they actually gave us the option as employees to whether you feel comfortable or not coming in. And I drive, but I still don't feel comfortable. So for now, I'll be staying home, and I'm just glad that I have the option to even continue to work from home.
My job said, do you want to be employed or not? And they said, nah. And yeah, so that's where I am with that. I'm very happy for you, though. Whatever, I'll find what I got to get done. Thank you,
Yeah,
U.S. economy. My second recession. Whoop, whoop. Anyway. What the fuck did I hear? Nicki, Doja, Azalea Banks, Drake, they all stepped in the bar. And what happened? What happened? Right now, in all the pettiness, we have to talk about pettiness because that's part of this show. Nicki Minaj obviously jumped. We talked about this last couple episodes. Nicki Minaj jumped on a song with Doja Cat. It made her number one. Doja Cat has surfaced in alt-right discussion chat rooms, making fun of Beyonce's name, disputing the Black Lives Matters movement, basically being a basic bitch. And I'm a big Doja Cat fan, but I read some of the shit. She's out of control. So I'm not saying she's racist, but she definitely was misguided. She definitely, because she's half Black herself or half Arabic as well. And she's half Jewish. And a lot of people called her out. And especially Azalea Banks. Azalea Banks went hard on Instagram and fucking flamed Nicki Minaj, saying that you got your first number one hit on a racist track. And then even on top of that, before you jump on the bandwagon of Tekashi 6ix9ine, a child molester, and then you married a child molester or freaking at least a sex offender. I know that. And and then the final thing that got me laughing, I'm sorry, I love Southside Jamaica Queen. Sorry, Nicki, my bad. She called out her living in a condo, and she was like, "You know why you live in a condo? Because you pay the shade room every day to freaking down bitches every day to flame people's careers." And I was like, "That's horrible." And I said to myself, "Wow, Nicki really doesn't own a home." Like, I just noticed that this chick is probably the most successful female rapper of all time, and she does not own a home. Like, what is up with that? So Azalea, I don't know, maybe Azalea owns multiple homes. She doesn't have the Billboard success as Nicki. But if you have been paying attention, and I got this from Tekashi 6ix9ine, by the way, my fault. Tekashi said that record labels get credit cards and they buy the albums the first 2 weeks of sales. So Justin Bieber, Selena Gomez, all those guys, which we've known this for years, but Tekashi put it out there. And then it made sense because the very next week, all of them were out of the top 10. All of them were out of the top 10 in sales. Because, so he was speaking the truth. He was speaking the truth.
He's speaking the truth. And, he's doing what he's known for best. He's making trouble, speaking on bullshit. As if anybody has been following this dumbass, you've seen that he's been spotted out at his hideouts, wherever, the government is putting him. His address comes out 2 seconds after he stays there.
Stitches.
Yeah, and I hope he keeps running away like a little punk that he is, because it's going to be the same thing for him. There's no place that he'll ever be safe. Eventually, I think the streets are going to catch up to him for what he's done. He's put a lot of people in jail. He spoke. He's made a deal with the government, and that's why he's out. So one thing I don't understand is how he's allowed to do everything that he's doing on social media. After he was released, it should have come with a couple of conditions.
He's just a witness. Well, he's not even in WITSEC. It's not even WITSEC. He's free. What's the deal? It's you can't restrict somebody from being free.
That's true, and I just believe that the guy doesn't know what's coming. He has a death wish, and sooner or later, I think something's gonna happen to him.
I agree. Well, to wrap it up, Azalea Banks also made a claim that she fucked Dave Chappelle. And she said something about his dick game being great. And so Dave Chappelle made I believe a statement online, and he was like, "Well, I know that wasn't me because my wife knows my dick game sucks." And I was like, oh, damn. So, what the fuck did I watch? And right now, I have finished Mythic Quest on Apple TV Plus. The same makers as It's Always Sunny as Philadelphia. It's Always Sunny in Philadelphia. Rob McElhenney and Charlie Day. They developed this show on Apple TV Plus. It's about game developers on this game called Mythic Quest. Raven's Banquet. It's kind of like Silicon Valley. I think it's actually funnier, and I think the story is better. There's a lot more diversity. There's a lot more women on the show. It's not very male focused. I like Silicon Valley, but this is a different take. It's one of Apple Plus's best shows. And also kudos to It's Always Sunny in Philadelphia for reaching 15 seasons, a record for live action TV. So, and it's keeping going too. They all said that like they're going to keep going until nobody wants to watch it anymore. So I congratulate them. I love that show. I read an article, Kate Olsen, they rewrote her character, and they said that once they started making her like one of the boys, the show started getting better. And I agree.
That's awesome.
Real quick, Ramy on Hulu. I haven't gotten to the second season yet, but the first season where he got an Emmy last year and a Golden Globe, fucking incredible. It's about a modern day Muslim mid 20-year-old, and he's just conflicted on being religious, and he's conflicted on just being a modern American. And it shows like even when he was a child in middle school, like experienced 9/11 when he was in Jersey City, having to put his hand on his heart, watching other people watch him, calling him a terrorist. It's crazy. It's awesome. And let's hear about Sonic. What's going on with Sonic, Oscar?
So we got a sequel, which is awesome. The first one, I loved it. I didn't go see it at the movies. Don't remember why exactly. Certain movies like these you want to go see with your kids just because it's one of those family movies. But hey, I recommend it for anybody. You have Robotnik as Jim Carrey, and if anybody can play that character, it's going to be him. He's an incredible actor, and he's always been known for his hijinks and liar, the way he does even a serious
Jim Carrey movie.
Any role
that is blue.
he can take into a comedic aspect that I think only he can pull off, and he kills it. And there was a big controversy when this first trailer came out, as everybody remembers. They butchered the character of Sonic. They made him too lifelike, so they went back and they fixed him up.
Thanks to Harry, it made almost $150 million US wide, domestic.
Yeah, and hey, if you like Mark Madsen, no, not Mark Madsen.
Marsden, the guy from
Cyclops. From
Westworld.
Yeah.
Westworld. He's been in
Westworld. That's right.
I love that show.
That's a great show.
He started off on X-Men, and he's gone off to all these family movies, Hop, all these movies you can name them, and he's done a great job with them.
He's had a steady career, and it's baffling that I don't remember his name often, which I should, because he's been around for a long time.
Yeah.
Enchanted. He's the man. He's a really good actor. I like him.
He was awesome in Westworld.
Dead to Me. Do you guys watch Dead to Me?
Dead to Me? No, I haven't seen that.
Oh, that's a good show. Christina Applegate, she's fire on there. And Linda Cardinelli from Freaks and Geeks. Very good show. He's on there too. He's the husband. He's very good.
Okay.
So right now we got a little bit of news. We got Apple lands a new Scorsese film. Last time Netflix grabbed up The Irishman after he went over $200 million in budget expense. Paramount was like, fuck that. So they got rid of him, and Netflix picked it up. As you saw, it was a very successful movie, or at least there was a lot of hype behind it. It went home winless in the Oscars. It had 7 nominations, but it went winless. So I'm sure Netflix didn't think that was worth it the second time for $200 million. So again, he ran up his tab again at Paramount, and this time Apple Plus took the bait, and it is called Killers of the Flower Moon. What do you think about that, Oscar?
Hey man, anytime you can get me Scorsese and Leo in a movie, I'm all for it.
Nice. And Robert De Niro.
And let's not forget him. I'm trying to think of the movie that Leo did with Martin Scorsese and Matt Damon.
The Departed.
Yes, there you go.
Say it correctly with the Boston accent. The Departed.
Yes, Departed.
There you go. Departed. It was, you can give me a movie.
I'm glad we got that away, so Oscar say it.
if you can give me a movie with that amazing cast, I'm all for it. You know, it's just we're living in this time right now where hey, give me whatever you have that's creative. Obviously,
I
this
wish
movie
I had a different opinion on it because obviously I don't like watching the same thing over and over, even the same director. But I love Martin Scorsese. I just can't. I even watched Taxi Driver recently again and Raging Bull just for nostalgic purposes. He's the man.
awesome.
To me, he's pretty much like Spike Lee. They're almost the same, except Spike Lee brings black people into the fold, and Martin Scorsese, no matter what the film is, he finds a way to get a mafia person in there, some Italian mafia guy, except for maybe like Silence, where he had the monks. I don't know if you ever saw that, but that was very good. That was definitely different than most of his films. What the fuck did I play? And it seems like I'm the only. No, I'm joking. Oscar played a few video games. Of course, he went back to Animal Crossing. One of Harry's favorite games. But I played Mortal Kombat 11 Aftermath. I also pre-ordered The Last of Us 2, but we'll talk about that later when it does release. We'll give you a nice review on that. But my review on MK11 Aftermath, obviously DLC content is very major nowadays in the 2010 era of this decade. Transactions and shit like that add up on your game. Like you don't just buy a game anymore. You're also buying the added content that comes out later. Sometimes you get a season pass. Right now, people are complaining because they're like, why didn't they just come out with this stuff for MK? MK11 came out with a lot, actually, and it had a lot of different characters. Spawn, Joker, Terminator. We got a lot.
From the very beginning.
It came out with this add-on, I was like, $40. Like, that is a lot for an add-on. But it came out, it gave me RoboCop. It gave me Terminator. It gave me so many different things. And it has a brand new story. So it's like basically like a sequel. So I'm enjoying it. Do you still enjoy MK11, Oscar?
I do. You know, it's just for me. I've never been a big fan of fighting games because I've always sucked. I've always been one of those button smashers. I'm gonna press whatever.
Idea. You should give up at sport games too.
I've always been a button smasher, and sometimes it works, sometimes it doesn't. Yeah. I've never been good with the combos ever since the Street Fighter days. So I just don't see right now. You know, like obviously all these games they always go down. So when it goes down, maybe I'll get it. But hey, if it brings that many characters, the extras that you're talking about, the Terminator, the Joker, that's pretty awesome. And I'm
gonna get you. We're gonna do more. We're gonna do more game sharing. We're gonna do more game sharing online. You, me, Harry, and we're gonna get more on Twitch, so we can start gearing up for that one day to get our content on there. Did you want to talk about Animal Crossing or anything like that?
Well, yeah. Let me just tell you guys really quick.
Sure.
You know, Harry's been talking about Animal Crossing, so I finally got it for my 15-year-old daughter whose birthday just passed. And,
that's right. Happy birthday, Yanit.
Happy birthday to her. You know, crazy. I have a 15-year-old. So
right,
I really
beautiful family.
So I really wanted her to have this game just because she played the original one on the 3DS. So I finally got it for her. I'm trying to also get her away from that Fortnite bullshit. So I got it for her. Her and Ava both love it. I have to set like a time limit for when one wants to play on the Switch because you know, and I actually did get the cartridge version. I'm not getting the digital versions because I
thought Nintendo doesn't deliver that anymore right now.
Well, no, from Best Buy.
Oh, so, okay. Yeah, I tried to get one of those old school Nintendo controllers to put on the Switch. You know what I'm talking about, the square ones, back for the NES. And they said they're not delivering physical supplies right now.
Oh wow! Well, I know I've been able to get anything from Best Buy and Dell. Honestly, they've been so much better than Amazon. They're shipping everything one day, so you can get your shit the next day. And hey, these are the companies that are going to take advantage of people that are at home. You know, I was able to set up my whole Philips Hue entertainment center, you know, with all the colors that I want, and I think it creates.
Right. I'm about to get more too. I just got my through the YouTube Premium offer that you mentioned on the chat. Mm-hmm. I got one of those. I got a light blue one, but my fucking outlet's not working on my bathroom. That's where I wanted to put it. I wanted to be able to fucking sing and scrub my nuts in the shower, and I can't do that.
Well, you can always use your phone. No, but I know. But these speakers, honestly, they're really great. I did want to get the first generation, the big tall one that you have, the Google Home, but that's no longer being sold anywhere, and I'm not gonna try to
Man.
get a new one for almost double the price. Just
Who's
because
the hottest bitch in Animal Crossing? Who do you jerk off to the most on Animal Crossing?
I haven't done any of that because it's
That's not realistic. That's not realistic. Chris Rock said Castaway wasn't realistic in that way too because there was no jerking off. So I'm canceling Animal Crossing. I'm done with Animal Crossing.
What the fuck did I say?
And sorry that we have to circle back to Mr. Dotard, small handemic, but we do. They start looting, we start shooting. That was a 1960s phrase from a Miami-Dade police chief. And he was saying that during segregation. He was saying that during Jim Crow laws. And your president just said that to rioters and protesters. That's nice. So I'm not saying that I agree with all the rioters. I'm not saying that there's not like implementation here and there. There's some white people, some white liberals too, that are just like causing problems, making problems for the BLM. Killer Mike said something also about the protests. It's funny because he's from the state that didn't elect Stacey Abrams. As a matter of fact, they did, but they cheated her. Governor Kemp kept her out through the Board of Elections. So that was a cheating election. So he said that the way to change this is a vote, which I agree, but not in Georgia. Georgia, they cheated them. And to be honest, they cheated the United States too in the Electoral College. So there's just so much going on right now. So like I said, I never thought I would hear a president militarize the police on Twitter. I never thought that they start looting, I never thought somebody would repeat that phrase in 2020. I'm very tired of people always mentioning FBI statistics like black on black crime. I like to call it whack on whack crime because it doesn't exist. When you have white people in an area, they kill each other. When you have black people saturated in an area, Spanish people, any type of demographic, that is the most crime demographic it has. And the FBI created that to make divisions. The same agency that tried to kill Martin Luther King Jr., that same advocate that all white people like to mention, even though when they assassinated him, riots went on for a month. The United States were rioting just like this when they assassinated Martin Luther King. So white people love to mention Martin Luther King all they want as far as peaceful protests, but you motherfucking killed him. You motherfucking killed him. So why are you mentioning somebody you fucking killed?
Yeah, and just to add to you, Vince, we're seeing something that we've never seen before. Like, I remember in the 90s we were kids when everything happened in Los Angeles, and even Amadou Diallo, that happened maybe 2 blocks away when I used to live in Jamaica.
Diallo, Sean Bell.
And I remember, Vince, I lived 2 blocks away from where that happened by that strip club. So
yeah, I live right near there still. Yes, you're right, Sean Bell. That was so sad. He was running away, and they fucking shot him 51 times. Like,
so it's just sad when we have all this going on, and it's really disappointing when we see our president saying everything he's saying. There's so much footage right now, and especially right now, you could just take out your phone and record everything. You see the bricks being laid out on the street. Who put these bricks there for people to start breaking windows? It doesn't make sense. We've even had videos of certain races just spray painting places they shouldn't be doing. So it almost feels like as if other people from other states are coming into the city, creating mayhem. And I'm pretty sure there are.
About that. That's not a conspiracy. The people are taking advantage. There's a real riot out there. There's real protests. But of course, there's going to be assholes out there.
Yeah, and
especially with today's technology and deep fakes. And photoshopping and all types of things, like they're able to do those things. So I'm not surprised.
Like just today, I was getting a bunch of notifications that Queen Center Mall is, it was boarded up. Obviously, of course, they're gonna board it up. There's windows all over the front of Queen Center Mall, and around 5 p.m., there was a bunch of people over there, and were they protesting? Of course they were. Would they have broken that all the glass windows in Queen Center Mall? Who knows? But like what we're seeing right now, it's because of how badly somebody was killed without anybody raising a single finger to stop it, And one of the things that I asked myself after I watched it, it's like, what would I have done? Like recording is doing something, But even as somebody, when you're watching that happen, could you react? Could you do something? No, because the cops are probably going to kill you too, just as easily as they killed him, you know. And it's sad, Vince. You know, we've grown up since 6th grade. I've had a moment like that
I
happen.
don't know you. Who are you? Who are what?
I've had a moment in junior high school where I was put on the wall, and I was with Josue. I was with the Spanish kids just hanging out, but I just happened to be the darkest one out of all of them.
That's why most people get robbed for being Spanish. No, I'm joking.
But you know, it was one of those experiences where I got put on the wall, and you know, the only thing they told me was that I looked like a suspect because I was wearing a black hoodie, and it was horrible. It really got to show me. I was about 17 years old. It really got to show me what kind of country I'm living in, no matter what, even if I was raised
profiled.
5. So you know, it's a lesson learned.
Fourth Amendment, racially profiled.
Exactly. So, you know, as a community of Latinos and African Americans, we just have to be careful. We have to make sure we know what's happening when we go outside. You know, if I've gotten pulled over by a cop, I know there's certain things I can't do or say because I know that, you know, my life is in danger no matter what.
Yeah. And to circle back to the title of the episode, All for None and None for All. This is Oscar's first title that he's come up with himself. He's, and he's come up with every graphic that we've had so far this season. He's doing a very good job of that. Job well done. Give a little clap for that. But so All for None, well, actually, All for One and One for All is from Alexander Dumas, and that is the Three Musketeers. Black writer, by the way, Black author. And we like to remix titles. We like to remix cliches and shit like that. So we made it All for None and None for All. And it's indicative of these times. Right now, like we just said, a lot of people are in for themselves. A lot of people are protesting for the right reasons. A lot of people are making a ruckus within that. We have real terrorist groups like the Proud Boys. We have real terrorist groups like the KKK. And right now, our president has dubbed it Antifa, which is not even a real group, but he's just trying to deflect the attention off of himself. So I'd like to end this, and give a shout out to my day ones who I don't fuck with anymore. And neither is Young Ma. So I want to end this with Young Ma explains why she doesn't care about day one homies. And I agree with her. She basically, what everybody puts in a fucking meme, people don't grow with you. And and sometimes it's not even their fault. Sometimes they're just stuck doing things that they're just going to always be stuck doing. And it's time to level up. It's time for my life. I'm 34 years old. It's time for me to level up. So I resonated with that. And even with the title, All for None, None for All, sometimes gotta be like that. So we're gonna wrap this episode up quicker this episode. Right now we're just a little sad. We're a little sad. Rosa Parks is a little sad. We're lucky we got this episode out because it's a very emotional time. There's a lot of people just dedicating to advocacy right now, and I can see why. It's hard for content creators right now because we're watching a really depressing. There's just riots out there, man. Our president is hiding in a bunker somewhere while this is going on, lights off and shit like that. What a pussy, bunker John and shit like that. But whatever. We'll talk more shit about that motherfucker next week, and we'll talk shit about lots of other shit.
Yeah, and for everybody who's been just checking out our show, I see a lot of people going on IG Live. I've been showing you guys everything about our video, and that's my landlord right there, Miguel. So, just to stay positive out there, create. If you're on IG Live,
stay negative though. Don't get COVID positive, please. Don't do that.
Yeah, and remember, if you're on IG Live, just create something. Everybody can make a podcast, just like we're doing. We can all do it.
Well, make sure you listen to ours first before the other guy that creates it.
Yes, that's it.
So on Twitter, we're on Keep Up NY. Twitch, we're on Keep Up NYC. Instagram, we're Keep Up NYC once again. Patreon, which we don't have any content up there yet, but we will very soon. We're going to try that out. Facebook, you can join our official group, Keep Up, Shut Up. You can also follow us personally at stillvinsane. Oslamalo, that's his tag name on Instagram. And we got John. He's our fellow flagship for Twitch. We're trying to get on Twitch as well, but if you want to follow someone that actually has content and is actually active, and I also help produce that as well. I try to come out with the outline. John is an amazing guy. He helps out with the show. You guys are all amazing. I want to thank you two as well. I want to thank Harry. I want to thank Oscar. We're on episode
66.
Well, this is episode 4. This is 66, but this is episode 4 of this season, and I couldn't be more proud. Every episode is getting better. We're all pitching in different ways. We're all realizing our strengths. I'm fucking excited. So, you better shut the fuck up.
Listen up.
And keep up.
With Oslamalo.
And stillvinsane. Over and out, homies. Yeah, you're terrible.